Ready to Love Season 5, Episode 5, and I'm calling this the Bootcamp edition because these DC folks is running this dating game like we about to join the military or something. We start off with the eliminations because we didn't get to that last week, but we knew the bottom two was going to be Precious and AP. So Demetrius like, AP, Precious, front and center. I was like, oh, good Lord, is he about to tell them to drop and give them 50? Come to the front of the line. So they come to the front of the line. And Demetrius, you know, the 21-year veteran, war veteran, Army veteran, Navy veteran, whatever branch of the military he was in, he said, AP, we feel that you're not over your husband yet. He says, we feel like you got some unresolved feelings for your husband. And her little side out, she was like, well, what are we now, psychologists? You know, we may not be psychologists, AP, but he is right because for some reason, it seemed like every scene you brought up that you was a widow. Then he says, Precious, we feel that you still want to be in the club and men are past that. Lie. See, this is why Precious is the way she is now because they're lying to her, right? They're not telling her the truth. They're trying to spare her feelings. And what they should have told her was the real truth. And the truth is you're too assertive and you talk about sex too much. And men our age are interested in more than just sex. So in the end, AP goes home and Precious was all like, I don't even know why I'm up here. This is jarring. And these men missed an opportunity to be honest and truthful with Precious so that maybe she can go on and have a better, successful dating life. Instead, they spared her feelings. And what she really needs is some tough love and some brutal honesty. AP said, that's fine. I'll go home, but I'm devastated. Girl, you didn't look devastated. You looked like you were smiling. There was not one man there that you had a connection with, and you know it. Go on home and celebrate. We know you laughing and turning up the music in your car when you drive away. Now, here's Precious thinking what she needs to do is she needs to prove herself and let men know she's not all about the club. See? Now she's about to work on the wrong thing. So instead of talking about sex and being out, she's going to be talking about sex while we sit on the couch and watch Netflix. It ain't the venue. It ain't the venue, Precious. The venue is not the problem. It's your conversation that's the problem. So Precious is going to try to change the venue and keep the same conversation. But what she needs to change is the conversation. See, men, you missed an opportunity. Have you guys noticed that for all the eliminations now, when the women get eliminated, they're doing them publicly? I think this is like from last year when all those women was taking rejection wrong and shit got out of hand and folks was cussing and putting fingers in faces and flying off the handle and crying. Now they do all this rejection of these women in public. That's why they had that little drill sergeant, get in line thing. Tommy was there, everybody there. HR was probably there too, for all we know, off camera watching. Next they had this dinner. Eric cooked dinner for everybody. He cooked some shrimp pasta and Dakia made sure to tell us, hey, you know what? I did tell him that shrimp pasta was my favorite. That's good, Dakia. I'm glad you pointing that out. Dakia ain't used to having things done for her. She's used to doing for other men. So as soon as men do one little thing, she's like, oh, look what happened. Girl, you need to get used to this. This tells you that you need to sit back and receive more things. And then you won't be all excited about some shrimp pasta. But it must have been good because they all ate their food. And Joy was like, kudos to the chef. And he was like, yeah, this gave me an opportunity. Eric was like, this gave me an opportunity to, do something, show my skills to my acquaintances and possibly to my next future wife. I like it, Eric. I like that line. Then Laverne gets messy. When Laverne finally does show up in conversations, he shows up messy. He talking about, let's play Truth or Dare. Truth or Dare? Shoot, we ain't in high school or college. When's the last time you played Truth or Dare? I don't know. That's such a juvenile game. So the first person they looked at was Christina. She said, and she chose the dare. And the dare was, why don't you go whatever guy you have the most connection with, go over, rub his chest. So she got up and she went over to Paul and she rubbed on his chest. Sugar Daddy, whichever one you want to call him. She went over and rubbed on Sugar Daddy's chest. And then Laverne was like, what? We talking about a 31-year-old with a 48-year-old. And then he looked at Wiley talking about like basically Wiley should have been the one after Christina because they're close in age. I told you last week that Christina, Tina, whatever her name, is not interested in no Wiley. And Paul had to make some little nasty comment about Wiley know about that life. Paul didn't need to say that. That was unnecessary, trying to punk Wiley. And Wiley just sat there and didn't say nothing. He didn't like the comment because off camera he said something about it, but he didn't chime up in. See, Wiley ain't quick tongue because if he was quick tongue, he would have done a sugar daddy joke on Paul and put him in his place. So the next Truth or Dare was for Joy, and of course she chose Dare, and it was like go over and kiss the man. And you know what? Before the dare could even get out the mouth, go over and kiss the man. Joy was up out her seat, running over to Clifton, kissing him. She couldn't wait for that. You knew she was going to choose the dare on that one. She said she made sure she gave him a good kiss, one he wouldn't forget, and nobody at that table would forget. I heard that, Joy. Get it, girl. Then the next truth or dare, Dakia got to ask, and guess who she chose? Carmen. What for, Dakia? Why would you do a truth or dare with the person you're in the most competition with for the man? You know what? I'm realizing about Dakia. Dakia has good book sense, but she doesn't have good smart sense. She doesn't know really how to play the game of dating. So she decides to choose truth or dare with Carmen. She's lucky that Carmen chose truth. So Carmen chose truth, and she asked, do you really like these men here, or are you just picking from what's here? Basically saying, if you were out in the world, would you really be picking from these men, or are you only picking from these men because this is what the selection is? And Carmen said, no, there are some men here that she's really interested in, but she didn't actually say the names. But here's the key where you all messed up. Suppose Carmen would have chose dare. What was going to be the dare, Dakia? Go over and kiss the man you most interested in, and then she runs over and kisses Eric, the one you're most interested in. Girl, you almost set yourself up. Dakia has good book sense and no street sense. She does not know how to date. She almost put herself in a trick bag. She really did. The next dare was for Sabrina, and the dare was go over and nibble on the ear of the person who's like, the top on your list. And so here's Joy all loud, talking about, go on, Tori, go and walk over to Tori. Because I guess they didn't know that Sabrina's eyes was really for Demetrius, but we knew because we've seen all the confessionals and everything. We already know that Demetrius is Sabrina's top choice. She's just using Tori. I told you that a couple of weeks ago. So anyway, of course, she walks around like it's a real decision. She know it ain't no real decision. Tori over there looking all sad because she ain't nowhere in the vicinity. Remember when we used to play that game? Hot, cold, you're getting hot, you're getting hot, you're getting hot. I mean, Sabrina was so far away from Tori. He was like, he ain't hot because she was so far away from him. She acted like she was circling the room. She wasn't circling nowhere but near Demetrius. And in the end, that's exactly where she landed, nibbling on his ear. And poor Tori's face looked like he lost his best friend. And then Ace said, truth or dare to Demetrius, go over and kiss the person who's your top. And of course, he went right on over to Sabrina and landed a cute little kiss on her too. She was smiling from ear to ear, grinning and grinning. And Tori was like, I had enough of this. Fuck this. I'm getting up. He was out. And he was like, oh, I guess they've been talking a lot more than I thought. What you think? You think? No shit, Sherlock. But I told you, Sabrina's just using Tori. Let me tell you who Tori is to Sabrina. I told you Sabrina's all corporate. Zoom calls, corporate conference calls. That's who she is. That's how she conducts her dates. That's how she conducts her conversations. And you know who Tori is? Tori's the guy that after she goes to a corporate dinner and she's hot and horny, she calls up Tori, and that's the one she wrestles in the bed with. Demetrius is the one that she takes to the corporate dinner. You getting it now? You getting the difference between the two? Demetrius is the one she takes out. He's debonair. He's refined. He's sophisticated. That's the one she takes out in public. Tori's the one that she closes the door, gets in the bed with, and bumps and grinds with. That's why she likes Tori. So next we see a group date that Joy sets up at the Jungle Gym boot camp. Here we go, some more boot camp going on. And but you know what? I like it because I'm an adventurous girl. I would have liked that date. Joy is like a little tomboy. She's like a boy's girl. She's feminine in these other kind of ways, but she's also got this tomboyness to her. So of course she chose the Jungle Gym for Clifton, Wiley, and Demetrius. So they, swinging from the ropes and everything like that. Everybody's having a good time. She gets to talk a little bit to Wiley because, they're trying to figure out who they're going to eliminate. So she's talking to Wiley. She says that Wiley has a little crush on her, but Wiley never steps to her. I don't think he would. Wiley don't have the confidence to step to Joy. Joy is out there. And so you got to be a really confident man to step to Joy. And Wiley's like, I'm just going to admire her from afar. And then Precious is over here talking to Demetrius, trying to get back in his good graces and telling her that, I just want to let you know I'm not all about the club. See, Demetrius, you should have told her the truth. Now she's focusing on this club thing, the venue. She's focusing on the venue, and that's not her problem. And Demetrius like, well, I don't know if she's just telling me that because, she wants to get out the hot seat or whatever else, trying to redeem herself. No, you should have told her the truth. It wasn't the venue that was the problem. It was the conversation, the speech, and the actions. So here we are. Precious ain't gonna learn a lesson again because everybody lying to her. So next thing you know, Sabrina got to have a board meeting. A date. It's like a board meeting with Tori to clean up, to do damage control, and what she did with them kisses and them nibbling on the ear and everything. And so, they're having a conversation, and I tell you, Sabrina is a good communicator. Just like she laid it down with AP, she about to lay it down real brief, concise, and everything with Tori, and tell him basically this is a game. I'm keeping my options open. She was polite. She did it politely. She did it professionally. But you know what? Sabrina has no warmth. Everything is business with her. That's why she was so afraid of Paul about his business personality, because she knows she's all business. Sabrina really isn't any fun. Tell me the last time you saw Sabrina have some fun. And that date she planned on the tour bus going to look at the Washington monuments, that don't count, because that was not fun. That was educational. But Tori was like, listen, I need to know what the truth is. You don't need to be hiding the truth from me. I don't want to be playing no guessing game, and I'm not going to be playing second fiddle to no man. But you know what, Tori? You ain't got no choice but to play second fiddle. Unless you get out here and start making another connection, you're going to be second fiddle to Demetrius, because you better figure this out, and you better figure it out bad. You better stop listening to this executive VP up here spitting some words to you that is not true. You second choice, and you're going to be second choice unless Demetrius falls out of first place. So Tina goes on, the two new people go on a date together, Tina and Donovan. They find out they both have kids or whatever. They may have a little bit of chemistry together, but I don't know. I really don't know what Tina is looking for out here. Like I said, I don't know if she's looking for the sugar daddy or what, but I don't know. There might have been some sexual chemistry going on between Tina and Donovan, but I don't think that there's anything else too much more with those two. Then you see Carmen and P.O. go out. I was interested in seeing this date because I'm thinking of all people who can take P.O.'s harsh style of dating, his aggressive style of dating or assertive style of dating. It might be Carmen, because she ex-military too, and she knows how to dish it as well. So they go out on a date together, and just like I thought, they actually had some good conversation. I did notice that Paul likes to ask the questions, but then when Carmen would throw it back on him, he doesn't answer the questions. That's one thing I didn't like about Paul. And then Paul says, why do you think you've been single? And a lot of women get upset over this question all the time, and they would turn their nose up if they asked it. But Carmen didn't get rattled. She says, I think people think I'm single because they think I got a man already. And then Paul's like, are you approachable? And she goes, well, I think I am. Do you think I'm approachable? See, that's what I'm saying. Some people will get rattled over all those questions because Paul does try to poke people. But you know what? Carmen is a CEO. She cool, calm, and collected. She knows how to handle Paul. And the truth of the matter is, I'm not sure that DC is the dating market for Paul. Paul needs to go to another region of the country where people can handle these types of questions. But it's something about DC women. They're so used to being the aggressors and the ones asking all the questions that they're uncomfortable with this. But Paul started talking about, I want to give you my pickup. I don't know. That was nasty. I didn't like it. But you know what? Once again, Carmen stepped up to the plate. She took a bite of that pickle. And let me tell you, she did make it look sexy. He was like, you made that look like a commercial. She sure did make that look like a commercial. I was like, wow, that was pretty good. You need to learn how to do that for my own husband. Paul had another scene with Tina. And, of course, she's going on about, how she's still looking for a sugar daddy. What you think of me? I need you to be aggressive. I need you to come after me. And Paul's like, I'm going to come after you. I'm going to come after you. I'm going to come after you. That sounds like an old man talking to a young woman. I'm going to put it on you. I'm going to put it on you. I'm going to put it on you. And you know what happens. Don't nothing be happening. So Laverne finally wakes up and realizes, what, he might be going home. He's like, I better shore up my connection with Ace, because that's pretty much the only one he has. So he goes over and he's sitting with Ace on this date, and he's putting his hand all over, putting his hand on her knee. And he's like, how'd you like the pool party? And she was like, oh, it was good. I learned some interesting things. And he goes, oh, wrong answer. You should have been saying how the best thing about the pool party was me in my short shorts and my tank top. There we go, fishing for a compliment. There we go, wanting a woman to chase after him. This is what DC created. DC created an environment where now every time a man sits down with you, he expects a compliment. There you go. Tina decides she's going to come over and she's going to talk to Laverne too, because she's heard a lot about him. She wants to figure it out for herself. So Laverne start talking about how he likes Sunday dinner, talking about what he wants. He started talking about he's from the South. Gary, Indiana is not from the South, Laverne. What are you talking about? Then he starts talking about his same old little line about Gary, Indiana. You know who's from Gary, Indiana? The king of R&B, the king of R&B. I'm like, who is that? Bobby Brown, like Whitney Houston said? King of R&B. He's talking about Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson is not the king of R&B. He's the king of pop. So here you are promoting the city, and you don't even know who the king of pop is. If Michael Jackson's the king of pop, Laverne, go on back and look up Wikipedia. In the end, Laverne and Wiley were on the bottom, the last two. So Dakia had to talk to Wiley, and Precious had to go deliver the news to Laverne. And Precious has had to deliver this news several times. I think Precious likes delivering this news, this type of news, because she's had to have the talk with the bottom two a couple of times. So she goes ahead, she starts talking to Laverne and talk about how people think he's like a borderline narcissist. She says he was messing with that truth or dare. And he was like, well, I just wanted to play the game. It wasn't me. She's, oh no, you know how to step up when you want to step up, but you know how to fall back when you fall back. You see, Precious can dish the truth because she was dishing the truth to Laverne. So you guys need to believe that she can receive the truth. If she can dish it, she should be able to take it. Just like she was giving truth to Laverne, somebody needs to give her the truth. But after Precious said that to Laverne, boy, he let loose on her. He said, you know what? You want me to be open and vulnerable, but I'm not going to be open and vulnerable because I don't trust none of you people. He called them you people. You know when somebody starts calling you people, he said, you haven't earned my trust. You've been manipulative. And when I figure out that you earned my trust, then I give you my trust. Boy, Laverne, you showed your whole assness. If anybody was on the fence about who you were, let me tell you, they're not over the fence no more. They on the fence no more. They all the way over the fence. What are you talking about, boy? People manipulated you. And when you give me what I want, I'll give you what I want. You know what? You are sounding like a narcissist. Precious said, that's fear talking. Sometimes you fear. Sometimes you got to trust people to open up to them. And he was like, yeah, you people are judgmental. He says, you judgmental. This is the real Laverne. Basically, if you don't like it, too bad. And you know what? They don't like it. You're going to be going home real soon, Laverne. But then the kid had the conversation with Wiley like he was her little son or her nephew or something, talking about if you want a woman, you need to go after him. Well, that isn't how you guys treat the other men. You don't wait for the men to go after you, the other men to go after you. You guys go after the men. So Wiley was just doing what he has sat back and observed, and that is the men don't have to do anything, that the women, when they want you, they come after you. See what you done taught him, the kid? Now you're telling him he needs to be more assertive? Why? You the main one who be going after and chasing men. No one liked Wiley because he was too young. That's why no woman approached him. Don't be saying it because he wasn't assertive enough. None of these men are assertive. You women are the ones that are assertive. But anyway, Wiley went home. I like Wiley. Wiley, you're going to find your match somewhere else. It definitely ain't on this show. These women is too old for you. You might like an older woman, but these women is too old for you. You need to drop back down to the 30s. Anyway, that's it, y'all. Talk to you later. Bye.